Hello friends, this is JB on JB's Man Cave and I'm aboard a Caribbean Airlines flight heading out of PIARCO, Trinidad. Trinidad is part of a country known as Trinidad and Tobago. This is the island of Trinidad and this is the international airport called PIARCO International Airport. That's it on the map, that's the location of where we're at. At the moment, the plane is being taxied away from the airport, getting onto the runway to take off. If you're not familiar with JB's Man Cave, I like to show the raw, so I don't cut and paste stuff, edit, move it fast and whatnot. I like you to feel like if you're there with me, and that's the purpose of my video. So in this video, you're seeing me at the window seat, just behind the wing of the aircraft, and as such you will get a taste of what it's like to be on a plane at the window and watching all of this. In the background, if you look in the distance, that's the old airport. That's where the international airport used to be, and as a kid you could actually go there. There was a balcony and you could see planes taking off and landing. Sometimes planes would come up as close as maybe 100, 200 feet away from you. You could hear the rumble of the engine. You could feel the vibration as the plane was getting closer. It was just really nice. Of course, all of that doesn't exist anymore because of all the problems associated with, I guess, terrorism, security, things like that. Airports now are built in a certain way where you just don't see the planes taking off or landing much anymore. That's not really true though for a lot of international airports I've been to. I mean, you don't get as close as you used to, but you can still see the planes from where you get on board. You know, wherever the bridge is. You can see the planes. You don't necessarily see the runway particularly, but you still get a good bit of it. Anyway, while we are waiting here for the plane to take off, I'm showing you some of the posters of videos I've done in the past. Maybe you've seen some of these. It's amazing to me how people still come to my channel and behave as though it's a new discovery. I have thousands of videos. These are just some of those videos featuring different places in Trinidad, and just like how you see this video is done in the raw format where I'm not editing, those videos are done in the same way. Some of them I'm walking around and some of them I'm driving around, and I always try to do it in as high a resolution as possible. So this video is actually recorded in 5.3K, which is higher than 4K, but YouTube changed its policy, and so every video you upload, no matter how high the resolution is, it's downgraded to 4K. So when you're watching this video, it'll be 4K, but the screen size is actually 5.3K, which allows you to see more. It allows you to get an even more crisp image as you're watching. There's nothing more distressing than to be watching something and it's all blurred and pixelated and so forth. So I try to do my best for you on that. In some of the older videos that I have, it's not quite as sharp, but I tried to do my best where I could. Okay, so the plane is taking off now. When I say taking off, I mean we're moving off. It's not on the runway yet to actually go up into the air. Sometimes you get on a plane and it just stands still and you wonder why, but you know, the pilot of the plane, the captain, cannot just simply start moving on the runway. He has to get the okay from the control tower. You know, probably other planes are coming in, something is blocking or whatever it is, but always safety first when it comes to flying. I have actually another video similar to this one where I am taking off from Trinidad, But in that one, I'm already in the air, so you just see partially some of the runway, but mostly, you know, the plane leaving Trinidad. In this one, you actually see the full thing where the plane is being taxied off and then going to the runway and actually taking off. Taking off is one of my favorite parts of the journey, because as you take off, you get to see everything, you know, from a perspective that you wouldn't otherwise see. I know some people don't really care for that too much. People who probably like things like roller coasters and rides and going fast would appreciate that. Others who get that feeling of, you know, the G-forces on their body, they just don't care for that. But the nice thing about this is, as the plane is moving, you get to see some of the old airport, like I talked about, some of the hangars, some of the structures that us older heads would be familiar with. You know, sometimes it's strange to think that there's a younger generation that just doesn't know about the old airport or the old way things used to be in Trinidad. You know, they only know what they see now. So it's a cloudy day, but the sun is out. It looks like some rains are coming from the east, but thankfully they don't reach us in this video, so I'm able to get quite a lot of good sharp footage in the air, as you will see. But this is like a typical day in Trinidad, eh? And another thing I'm glad for is that there's no Saharan dust, which is a big deal in Trinidad and Tobago now. Literally, the Sahara's dust comes all the way from Africa and blankets the Caribbean, including Trinidad and Tobago. And when it comes here, it not only covers everything with a dust, but in the air, it causes like a fog or a mist where it just covers everything, makes it gray, and you could see the difference between it not being a cloud and it being haze and the Saharan dust. And I actually have videos for that. You should look for that on my channel. If you can't find it, just put in the comments area that you'd like to find it or you'd like to see it, and I will link you up. You can see again, in this journey we are actually seeing all the old hangars. Some of this would be mechanics, fire, air guard, all those things. And the cars in the distance, that would be the road that you would have normally taken to get to the first airport. So as we turn this bend here, the plane is going to start to get ready to take off because we're going onto the runway now. In the distance, that's where planes normally come from the west to land here on this runway. And this is really the best part of this whole video, so I'm going to stay quiet for a little bit and put up the song so you can hear the roar of the engine. When we're in the air, I'll talk again. Right, so we're in the air. This is East Trinidad. As you can see, there's a lot of farmland here. In the distance would be a lot of the residential areas. La Horquita, Arima, Valencia. All these places are in the east of Trinidad and would be familiar to people. Santa Rosa. That's the Santa Rosa racetrack down below. Trinidad looks so different from here, doesn't it? When you're in a plane and you're looking at things from this viewpoint, everything looks so peaceful and looks in order and looks, you know, just right. You wouldn't think of all the issues and problems and commerce and bacchanal that's going on at ground level. Sometimes I turn on the news about Trinidad and Tobago and it's quite disappointing, all the things that you see. For such a small island, we shouldn't have big country issues. And what I mean by big country issues, just there's too much commerce going on, as though the country is big, you know, and one area to the next maybe has some issue to bring up. No, it's such a small island. Really, things should be more peaceful and progressive, and I don't know, just like Bob Marley tried to do in Jamaica, bring one love. That's how we should be, but unfortunately it is not like that. There's a lot of fighting and commerce and crime and problems and infrastructural issues. Some of those I lament a lot on my various videos. But up here, everything looks just right. As the way God intended it. Probably that's why when he looked from above, he was pleased with his creation, because it looks good from this viewpoint. Now the plane will be heading north, so we're heading towards the north coast, which you will see shortly. And I do have other videos for the north coast of Trinidad, which has quite a different terrain than where we were. PIARCO and the surrounding areas is more or less flat, but to the north of Trinidad is quite mountainous, and the coastline is covered by mountains, which is really good for us because it protects us from thunderstorms and hurricanes and stuff that are coming from the north. However, the con of that is that to get to the beaches and to get to the north coast, you have to go over those mountains, and that can be quite a task at times, which I do share and show in my videos. Again, I have thousands of videos on my channel. Not all are related to Trinidad, but quite a bit are, and you can check them out, both shorts and long videos. So that's some of the beach areas down below. It's hard to tell here which beach is that, because we have two major beaches in the north of Trinidad. One is called Maracas and the other is Las Cuevas. I believe the captain is saying that's Las Cuevas. So the other one to the top of it would be Maracas. Also looks very beautiful from here, doesn't it? Again, I'm showing some posters of where I'm with my truck there and driving to these areas so you could see what it looks like from ground level. Make sure to look for those videos. It's quite interesting, and I take you to see these areas in a way that you definitely would have not seen before in any other video. I hope you liked today's short video, and if you do, please do like, subscribe, it's free if you haven't done before, and let your friends know about JB's Man Cave. Thanks so much.